Hey, welcome to Chef LaWanda's studio. I hope you enjoy the content of this video. This is Chef LaWanda coming to you with another fascinating dish, Skillet Collard Greens, using a 32-ounce bag of shredded collard greens. So get your pen and pad together and we can all get started. Okay, I'm back. What you need to begin with is about 1 cup of chopped bacon. 1 cup of chopped bacon. 1 cup of chopped onion. You're going to have 2 large cloves of garlic sliced thin. And of course we have tomatoes for garnish. So let's get started. As you can see, there's no oil in the pan. You need to have a deep dish, a deep skillet. One that's like about, about 4 inches deep. So right now I'm just gonna cook the bacon and let it render the fat. I thought about this dish a while back, but I hadn't just gotten around to making it. You know, lots of times when we fix greens, as Southern gals, we fix greens, we just get the bacon and we start boiling the bacon in a pot of water, and we boil it till we think it's tender enough, and then we add the greens and we get it going on with all our seasonings. But this method here is going to be one method that you probably didn't think about. It's going to have your greens just as tender as if you had boiled them for about 40 minutes to an hour. Last night, I took my the pieces of chicken and I boiled them and took the broth off of them. And took the broth off of it. My daughter called me a container hoarder. She said, Mama, everything that has a top to it, you keep. Well, yeah, I do. But I tried to work on that. But the jars is just something I just gotta have. And it comes in handy at times. Let's turn this up to a medium high. I was asked one time, what does it mean by medium high, medium low, medium? Well, think of it as a clock. If you got a clock and it's straight up 12 o'clock, that's up high. And if you turn it to 3 o'clock, that's medium high. You turn it to 6 o'clock, you got a medium. If you turn it to 9 o'clock, you got a medium low. And if you go all the way past that 9, you got a low, low, low. So that's when we say medium, medium high, medium low. I've already washed my greens, as I said earlier. And the thing about this menu is that you're going to have to make sure that you render most of the water off of your greens. I've already done that here in this bowl here. And this is some shredded collard greens. This works really good when it comes to this dish here. Now I'm sure you can take the whole leaf collard greens and do the same, but this gets more tender faster. Okay, so while we're letting this fat get rendered here, and it's almost ready for the onions. So we're not going to remove the bacon from here, because it's just too wrong. Bacon has so much seasoning in it. We're just going to render some of this fat off of here, out of the bacon. You don't want it to get really crispy, but kind of halfway crispy. Not all the way crispy bacon. Oh yeah, that's coming along just fine. Now, if you can see the bacon the way it is now, this is when you add your onion. So we're going to add the onions. This is about a cup of onions, also 1 cup of chopped onions. You don't want to add the garlic now, because why? Can anybody tell me why? Write it in the comment if you know why we don't want to add the garlic right now. Speaking of writing comments, if you like my station and like the content in it, click on like and subscribe. It's Chef LaWanda's studio, and I'm going to be coming to you with some really great, unusual cooking methods and foods. Oh yeah, we're smelling this up really good. So we're going to let that saute a little while also. And just before we put the greens, we'll put the garlic. The answer to the question for the garlic is that garlic, especially the way we have it in this dish, is sliced really thin. And once garlic starts to saute or fry up, it'll start to burn, get toasted. And we don't want that. We want the garlic to stay in this dish so we can render some really good flavors. I was so proud. I just got me my brand new apron. This is Chef LaWanda's studio. How about that? So now it's time to add the garlic. I'll sprinkle thinly sliced garlic. That was 2 large cloves of garlic. Now the tomatoes are for a garnish, so we're going to set those aside. This is a real simple dish. Really simple. It doesn't have that many ingredients in it or seasoning. Okay, now we're ready to put our greens in. Like I said once before, they've been washed and dried, because if they weren't dry, they'll be sparkling, popping everywhere. So this is shredded collard greens. And kind of like turn it over a little bit until it cooks down. Or we can get some of the bacon and the onions off the bottom. Kind of like turn it over. Well, it says 32 ounces. A 32-ounce bag. Put more on the countertop so you can see where it's cooking down from the initial, when I first initially put it in here. Look at that. Now as that cooks down, we're going to go ahead and continue to add the rest of it in there. Because you know as well as I know, when you do spinach and green leaf vegetables, you put them to the heat, they'll cook down to half the size they are eventually. That they are originally, rather. I've not added any water, any oil. I'm still just using the bacon drippings. And keep turning it over. You can see the bacon. I want to give a shout out to all of you that's tuning in with me. And please share this video with your friends for me. Let's get our viewing audience up, because we got some good dishes coming out of here. Let's put the rest of this in. There it is. A whole 32-ounce bag of collard greens. Okay, I'm going to let this cook down some, and I'll be right back. Okay. It's cooking down very good. Look at that. Look at that. Really cooking down. And it smells, guys, this kitchen smells so good. So good in here. You know, collard greens have been known to be the longest time process in cooking when you cook collard greens, but this method, not so. not so at all. You can see from where the initial entry of this, the greens when I first put them in the pot, and how they cook down really good, and there has been no water added at all. It's only the bacon drippings that we're using. The bacon and the onions is what we're using right now. And that little added flavor of garlic. Oh my God, look, there's the garlic right there. This is how thin you might want your garlic to be. Look at that garlic right there. When you slice them thin like this, oh my goodness, it really gives really good flavor to the food. You can taste it real well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this. Now I'm going to turn it on medium, which is at 6 o'clock. I'm going to cover it. And we'll let it cook approximately 10-15 minutes. Be right back. Okay, we're back. This has been simmering for approximately 10 minutes. Here, now at this time, I'm going to use black pepper. Just sprinkle a little bit of black pepper, probably about a teaspoon, sorry, not a tablespoon, about a teaspoon and a half of black pepper. Now the broth that I used, that I cooked from the chicken, it does have salt in it. But I'm going to, in addition to that, I'm going to sprinkle about a half a teaspoon of seasoned oil in here. Also, half a teaspoon, no more. If you get to that teaspoon mark, then that's okay. But then you can also season this to the taste. Okay, let's go ahead and add our chicken broth in here. If we can get the top open off of this. The good thing about this is, look, I've got fat on here that I can take off. It's been sitting in the refrigerator overnight. So let's take that fat off of here. That's a good thing. Look at that. It just lifts right up. Extra fat. That's a good thing. Okay, so now we're going to add our chicken broth. This is real chicken broth. You can add canned, but if you use canned broth, chicken broth, check the contents of the salt and make sure you check your salt contents because we don't want it really salty. I'm going to put most of it. There was some chicken pieces that was in this broth. So we're going to go ahead and add those in there as well. This was a I believe that's like a 1 quart of broth that we have here. Now look at that. Now I got chicken in here. I'm going to turn this back up on high. Now here I'm not adding any more water or anything to it, any more fluids to this at all. I'm going to cover it again. Once it starts to bubble up, and I hate those stems in here, a lot of little stems. But you know what? That stem was tender already. Oh my God. This is gonna be so good, you guys. I can't wait. I'm eating it already. Okay, we've got the chicken broth in there. Little bits of chicken, little bits of bacon, onions, and a little bit of garlic. So once this starts to boil, which is what's going on right now, it's getting ready to reach its peak at boil. I'm going to turn it down again on medium, cover it for about another 10 no more than 15 minutes, about another 10 minutes. And you know what? This dish is going to be done. So where we would normally take about an hour or so to cook some collard greens, this whole dish is taking us about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. There's another one of these stems that is soft. Okay. And the flavor is on spot. Normally when I'm cooking regular greens, collard greens, now I'm going to turn it all the way down to a medium high. And I'll be right back with the results and have a taste test. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. We're going to check the end result of these collard greens. But first of all, I got to remind you to check like if you like the contents of my video, subscribe, and send some comments. If some dishes you want me to prepare for you, I will. And I hope you've got your pad and pen out and have written this recipe down because it is absolutely great. Let's look at the end result. It's been about 10 minutes since I was last here, so let's do this. Oh my goodness, look, and it's still got, you know, a really good green to do this with is kale also. Still have a few juices. Right at this moment, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off because you know if you've got an electric stove, everything continues to cook it once you turned it off. So we're gonna go ahead and garnish this up with some tomatoes. Oh my God, doesn't that look good? If you don't like tomatoes in your greens, you don't have to do this. This is my way that I cook, and if you want to tweak it the way you want to tweak it, you're absolutely welcome to do that also. Let's just gently toss those around in there because I don't want to lose a picture perfect flavor of the tomatoes. And there you go. Sauteed collard greens. I'm going to have to taste this for you guys. Now, you know, this is the best part. This is the best part of the video that I like. You know what, sometimes my cooking can be not good for me. As far as keeping the weight off anyway. One thing about your own food, you cook it the way you want to cook it, so it's going to absolutely taste the way you want it to taste. Okay, let's see how this turned out. Tomato. Here we go. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. You guys have got to try this. You really have to try this because this was demonstrated to me a long time ago. And I'm like, how could collard greens cooked in this method become tender? I gotta tell you. That's my microwave going off in the background, guys. I gotta tell you, this is the most tender greens you want to eat. It's really nice and tender. Let me get this camera here so you guys can see this here. Give you a good close-up of these greens. Look at that. Where we go. Look at that. Oh my God, they're so good. That is so good. I can't tell you. I'm going to keep telling you how tender this is. And this is good because it's got little bits of chicken in it too from the chicken broth, the real chicken broth. So if you ever get a chance to find pieces of chicken in your freezer and take them and boil them up and take the meat off of them. And what I did with the rest of the meat here, I have it in my freezer. So when I get ready to make chicken and dumplings, that's another recipe for you guys. then I'll have that chicken. But there's always ways you can save food instead of getting rid of it. But once again, if you like my video, get another taste of this because I love this. This is so good. You know what? Just need some homemade cornbread with that. Baby, please. Some homemade cornbread. Just these greens. We'd be like on good times. You know what? Collard greens and cornbread. Okay. If you like the contents of this, and you want to try this wonderful, delicious way of preparing collard greens, then using my method, try it. I'm sure you'll like it. Once again, click like, share. This is going to end this video. Until next time, good night.